Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Yo, what up though, people? Like to welcome you back to the Keep the C No podcast. As always, I am your boy Brown. This is the Week 14 NFL recap. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit the sub button. Everybody that's tuned in, please give it a thumbs up. I need you to hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell so you can get notified. You know, we had a lot going on Week 14, upset week, and all of that. People fighting for playoff spots. If your team held it down in Week 14, shout out to you. Your team took a L. I feel your pain. We gonna start it off in Buffalo. They was hosting the Jets. Shout out Buffalo. They came away with the 20-12 victory. Josh Allen, he threw for 147 and a touchdown. He also ran for 47 yards and a touchdown. Dawson Knox, 4 catches, 41 yards, a touchdown. Shout out Buffalo. They are 10-3 people. As for the Jets, they fell to 7-6. Mike White, he threw for 268, but he got hurt, came back, got hurt again. He was in and out of the game. Shout out to Mike White for being a soldier. Zonovan Knight, he had 71 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Garrett Wilson, 6 catches, 78 yards and a touchdown. Again, the Jets are 7-6. Shout out to the Jets. The defense is mean. They locked Stephon Diggs down. I don't even want to say they locked Gabe Davis down because I think Gabe Davis turned out to be a dud this year. I'm just keeping it a C note. He's not who we thought he was going to be. But again, I say sometimes fantasy football really can cloud our mind. And with Gabe Davis, these is one of the times. Let's go Cincinnati. They was hosting Cleveland. You know, Cincy trying to get first place in their division. Deshaun Watson, second game back, he didn't look so good his first game. He didn't look so good his second game either. Cincy came away with the 23-10 victory. Joe Burrow, he threw for 239, 2 touchdowns, an interception. Joe Mixon was back and he ran for 96 yards on the ground. Jamar Chase, 10 catches, 119 yards and a touchdown. Shout out to Cincinnati. They are now 9-4. They did lose T. Higgins in the game, and they also lost their third receiver, Boyd. So, got to keep an eye out for that. As for Cleveland, Deshaun Watson, 276 through the air, a touchdown and an interception. Nick Chubb, 34 yards on the ground. Yikes. Donovan Peoples-Jones, 8 catches, 114 yards. The Browns are 5-8 people. Keep it a C note. Deshaun Watson has been back 2 weeks. Nick Chubb numbers look horrible. Is Nick Chubb going to suffer the most from Deshaun Watson being back? Keep it a C note. Let me know your thoughts. Shout out to my guy Mike from 28th Street. He was just on episode 98. He was talking all this Cowboys talk on why they should be number 1 on the power rankings, how they're blowing teams out. Mike, shout out to you. Dallas was hosting Houston. The Texans came into the game at 110-1. And it took Dallas a last-second touchdown from Zeke Elliott to win the game. The Cowboys came away with the 27-23 victory. Dak Prescott, 284, touchdown, 2 interceptions. Zeke Elliott, 62 yards on the ground in the game-winning touchdown. Dalton Schultz, 6 for 87 yards. Dallas got the win. They're 10-3, but they struggled against the worst team in the league. I'm just keeping it a C note. Davis Mills, he came into the game. You got Driscoll. They was playing musical chairs with their with their quarterbacks again. Davis Mills threw for 175, an interception. Damian Pierce, 78 yards on the ground and a touchdown. And we had a Chris Moore sighting people. Who? Man, stop playing. Chris Moore got busy. 10 catches, 124 yards. The Texans are 1-11-1. And I recently asked y'all a question about CeeDee Lamb, about him putting up monster numbers. CeeDee Lamb did nothing in this game. But here's the thing. I'm watching Dallas closely. I think it's Dak. When I watched that game, several plays, Gallup got open and Dak didn't even look his way. He looked to whoever the read was for. I'm not saying Dak don't read the field and he don't go through his progressions. I'm just saying these games that I've seen, whoever is his number one target on that play, that's who he locks in. He don't see the rest of the field. And maybe that's why Cooper Rush had those guys balling a little bit more. I don't know. I'm keeping it a C note. But shout out to my guy Kyle because I think this is it with Dak, baby boy. He ain't top 5 quarterback. He might not even be top 10. Cowboys Nation, don't kill me. I'm just keeping it a C note. Detroit Lions, they have been hot. I think they've won like 5 out of 6 games or something like that. Whatever it is, they have been hooping. They only loss recently came on Thanksgiving. Last second loss to Buffalo. They're still fighting for a playoff spot. They was hosting Minnesota. Minnesota looking to clinch the division. They've been cakewalking through the division. Shout out Jared Goff and the boys. They came away with the 34-23 victory. And the score makes it seem closer, but Detroit really treated these guys from the beginning of the game until the end of the game. Shout out Jared Goff. He got busy for me. I needed him in fantasy football. Lamar Jackson was out. Jared Goff, he came up clutch. 330 through the air, 3 touchdowns. CJ Moore, 42 yards on the ground. I don't know what's going on with DeAndre Swift. Jamal Williams didn't get that many totes either. But yeah, DJ Chark, 6 catches, 94 yards, a touchdown. The Lions are 6-7. And in a crazy year, the Lions are still in the playoff hunt. Shout out to Jared Goff again. Salute player. As for Kirk Cousins, he got busy, but he didn't get busy. He threw for 425. 2 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook, 23 yards on the ground and a touchdown. He did nothing. He was locked down. Justin Jefferson, 11 catches, 223 yards, but he could not get into the end zone. Minnesota's 10-3. Still haven't locked down the division yet, but again, shout out to Detroit for that. Tennessee, they've come off 2 bad losses, trying to snap the streak. They was hosting Jacksonville. Jacksonville was a team that upset you this week. Then a team they supposed to beat, they lose to. But shout out Jacksonville. They came up with the 36-22 victory. Trevor Lawrence, he got busy. 368, 3 touchdowns. They did nothing on the ground. Travis Etienne Jr., 32 yards on the ground. But shout out Evan Ingram. He got busy. 162 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jacksonville is 5-8. As for Tennessee, they fall to 7-6. They've lost their 3rd straight game in a row. Yikes. Ryan Tannehill, 254, 2 touchdowns, an interception. Derrick Henry, 121 on the ground and a touchdown. Austin Hooper, 5 catches, 68 yards. I got to keep it a C note. I've recently, on Week 14 Power Rankings, I told Vito I was impressed by the Eagles because Tennessee's defense is supposed to be a top 5 defense, so the Eagles putting up 30-something points on them was impressive to me. But I don't really know if it's that impressive no more after seeing Jacksonville hang 36 on Tennessee. It might be really what I said because on that same episode, I did say Tennessee's defense may be a smokescreen. I don't know. You letting Jacksonville hang 36 points on you, and that defense ain't what I thought it was. I'm just keeping it a C note. Baltimore, they were playing without Lamar Jackson. Tyler Huntley got the start. They're in Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin still trying not to have a losing season. Shout out Baltimore. They came away with the 16-14 victory. Tyler Huntley had 88 yards through the air, but he got hurt in the game. J.K. Dobbins was back again. He's in and out of IR, but you know how that goes. J.K. Dobbins got busy, 120 on the ground and a touchdown. Demarcus Robinson, 5 catches, 52 yards. Shout out to Baltimore, still in first place at 9-4. As for Mike Tomlin, it's looking like a losing season. I'm just keeping it a C note. Kenny Pickett got the start. He got knocked out of the game. Trubisky came in, 276. He threw for a touchdown and 3 interceptions. Yikes. Najee Harris, 33 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Deontay Johnson, 6 catches, 82 yards. I'm sorry, Mike Tomlin. A losing season is ahead. But it's the first of your career, so shout out to that. NFC East been getting busy. We're down to the last couple weeks. It's time to see who's for real, who's not. Shout out to the Eagles. They were in New Jersey playing the Giants, divisional game, and they beat the brakes off the Giants 48-22. Yikes. Jalen Hurts, he threw for 217 and 2 touchdowns. Miles Sanders got busy, people. 144, 2 touchdowns. A.J. Brown, 4 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown. Don't look now, but the Eagles are 12-1, people. As for the Giants, Daniel Jones, 169 and a touchdown. Saquon was MIA. I don't know if Saquon was hurt. I don't know if Saquon wanted some chunky soup. I don't know what it was, but Saquon was not in the game like that, stat-wise, that is. Tyrod Taylor did lead them in rushing with 40 yards. Yikes. And Richie Jones, he had 7 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown. The Giants are 7-5-1. If you're a Giants fan, do you think y'all can make the playoffs? Keep it a C note. I think it's over for the Giants. That's just me personally. I think it's been a good movie for the New York teams, the Giants, the Jets, but I think that's about to come to an end. That's just my thoughts. I'm keeping it a C note. Kansas City, they was in Denver trying to bounce back from not looking too good against Cincinnati, losing to Joe Burrow for the 3rd time. Shout out Kansas City. They came away with the 34-28 victory. Patrick Mahomes, he looked a little shaky. 352, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Yikes. Isaiah Pacheco, 70 yards on the ground. And Jerick McKinnon got busy, 7 catches, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. KC's 10-3. How you feeling about them? Keep it a C note. Denver, Russell Wilson, probably his best game as a Bronco, or he was looking like his best game. Threw for 247, 3 touchdowns, an interception. He also ran for 57 yards. Jerry Jeudy got busy, 8 catches, 73 yards, 3 touchdowns. Denver's 3-10. Russ was knocked out of the game. They saying concussion. Just shout out to Russell Wilson. It's been a tough season. It's been a tough season for a lot of the older quarterbacks. Shout out Russell Wilson. We're seeing the end of an era. I'm just keeping it a C note. As for Kansas City, I seen something that was very interesting. I seen that someone said without Tyreek Hill, that offense isn't as dynamic or explosive anymore. And that's the one piece that they're missing. Keep it a C note. Was Tyreek Hill a bigger factor in impact to the Kansas City Chiefs offense than we give him credit for? Because a lot of football fans, a lot of football people said they wouldn't know where Tyreek would be without Mahomes. Tyreek's still putting up them numbers. That KC offense is shaky, so, keep it a C note. Let us know what you're feeling about it. Pause. The upset of the day came in Seattle. You had Carolina traveling. And as funny as it seems, Carolina, the Panthers, they can still make the playoffs by winning their division. Shout out to Carolina. They came away with the 30-24 victory. Sam Darnold, he threw for 120 and a touchdown. Chuba Hubbard, 74 yards on the ground and a touchdown. And Laviska Shenault Jr., 4 catches, 31 yards. The Panthers are 5-8. Not saying they're going to the playoffs, but they're still fighting. I'm just keeping it a C note. Geno Smith, he threw for 264, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Kenneth Walker the third, he was missing, and you can tell that he has an impact on the offense. They did nothing on the ground. Travis Homer, 26 yards. Marquise Goodwin, he had 5 catches, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Seattle is 7-6. They still in the mix. Let's see what happens. Brady, he was in San Fran. He's still holding on to the first seed in the NFC South. Every team has a losing record. But, Brady is still there. He's never lost to a rookie quarterback. San Fran starting Brock Purdy, looking to extend their win streak. And shout out to Vito Purdy, Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan, and everybody else down San Fran. They came away with the 35-7 victory. They beat the brakes off Tampa Bay. I'm just going to keep it a C note. They beat the brakes off of Tampa Bay. Brock Purdy, he threw for 182, 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, he got busy, 119 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Brandon Ayuk, 2 catches, 57 yards, a touchdown. Deebo Samuel did get hurt in this game. They're saying he avoided a major knee injury and that it may be an ankle injury. But I don't know. And them injuries, will they be too much when it comes playoff time? Keep it a C note. Let me know. As for Brady, as for Tampa Bay, Brady threw for 253, a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Rashad White, 56 yards on the ground, and Chris Godwin, 5 catches, 54 yards. Tampa is 6-7. Keep it a C note, because we've heard everything. We've heard it's the offensive line, the receivers hurt, this team is hurt, this player's hurt. We've heard every excuse so far this year for Tom Brady. But is Brady done? I mean, can you put Brady on another team and he don't look this bad? Keep it a C note. Let us know. I got to ask a question to San Fran fans, because we give Kyle Shanahan a lot of credit, and I know Kyle Shanahan would know the inside scoop on everything. But shout out to Stevie Wonder, because Stevie Wonder actually made me aware of this. He said, Brown, sometimes you got to be aware of the smoke. He said, just look at it. Jimmy G was supposed to be not there. I mean, they wanted to start the young ball. A blind man can see that the young ball, their number one quarterback, he is not good. He may have potential, but he's not good. Jimmy G is so-so. To me, Brock Purdy looks better than both of these guys. I'm keeping it a C note. To me, Brock Purdy looks better than both of these guys, but at the end of the day, I cannot be blinded because if we're going to give Kyle Shanahan credit for being a great coach and all of that, then it's obvious that Kyle Shanahan knows who's who. And Brock Purdy was a third string quarterback for some reason, right? I mean, that's the only thing I can go off because to me, Brock Purdy, the offense has looked the best with Brock Purdy in this game and a half they played. And to me, Jimmy G was always better than the youngin. So my next question would be: Is it a smokescreen with Brock Purdy, or did Kyle Shanahan get this one wrong? Keep it a scene though. Let me know. Sunday Night Football. We had the Chargers trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. They was hosting Miami. Miami got beat down in week 13 by San Fran. They was back in Cali trying to rebound. Shout out to the Chargers. They came away with the 23-17 victory. Justin Herbert, he threw for 367 and a touchdown. Austin Eckler, he only had 45 yards on the ground, but he did get into the end zone. And shout out Mike Williams. He was back. He got busy. 6 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown. The Chargers are 7-6. What's your thoughts on the Chargers, people? Will they make the playoffs? Yes or no? Keep it a C note. Miami, they just didn't look good. Pause. Tua, he threw for 145 and a touchdown. They did absolutely nothing on the ground. Raheem Mostert, 37 yards. Jeff Wilson Jr. got hurt. Tyreek Hill, 4 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. He also recovered a fumble from the offense and ran it back for a touchdown. So he got in the end zone twice, but he did get hurt as well. So we got to keep our eyes on that. Miami's on a 2-game skid, people. What's your thoughts on Miami? Will the Dolphins make the playoffs? Keep it a C note. One thing I found interesting in that game, I seen Tua in the second half. He took off a couple times, maybe once or twice, and ran. And they said he hadn't ran for over 2-3 games. I know he's got a lot of going on with the concussions and all that, but my thoughts is if I got a mobile quarterback like that and I can't run him or I don't want to run him because Tua ain't the best passer in the world, and we all know that. But what I'm saying is if I can't run Tua, do you really want a quarterback like that? If you got to worry about him taking hits and all that, like, keep it a C note. Because some of these games where the passing is not working is where his athleticism is supposed to get you over the hump. He's supposed to take off. And that's not happening. I'm just saying I don't want a quarterback like that. That's my thoughts. But I did mention Debo got hurt. He was carted off. And when he was carted off, Jerry Rice, the great Jerry Rice, he slammed Kyle Shanahan via Twitter. He said, please stop running our skilled players up the middle at Trey Lance, at Jimmy G, now at 19 problems, all hurt. Keep it a scene though. What's your thoughts on what Jerry Rice is saying? Do you agree with him? Do you disagree with him? Let me know. My thoughts is like basically the same with Tua. We all know that Debo is good in the backfield and all that. My thing is this. If I'm going to use Debo and I'm going to hand him the ball off, I'm not just going to run him to the outside. He's going to run to the outside. He's going to run to the middle. Trey Lance, the same thing if you're doing design plays. Once you start just, okay, I'm going to run him this way, but like you make yourself too predictable for the defense basically. So I understand what Jerry Rice is saying. Like if you don't want those guys getting hurt, then don't run them. But then when you don't run them, you run the risk of Debo not even being effective at all, Trey Lance not being effective at all. That's just my thoughts. If you want to run them, you got to take everything that come with them, run them every type of way. What's your thoughts on it? Keep it a C-note, people. Shout out A.J. Brown. Shout out Miles Sanders. Both hit a stack. Miles Sanders, first running back since Shady McCoy in 2014 with 1,000 yards for the Eagles. And also A.J. Brown, first receiver with 1,000 yards since I believe Deshaun Jackson. I've had a long going back and forth with my guy about Miles Sanders. My joke has always been Miles Sanders was never as good as Saquon. That's why he didn't get no snaps at Penn State. His value increased after Saquon left and all of that. Miles Sanders, 1,000 yards for the first time. Keep it a Cino. Where does Miles Sanders rank amongst running backs right now in the NFL? Is he top 5? Is he top 10? Is he top 15? Top 20? Keep it a Cino. Let me know. For the record, I got him top 15. And I know he got busy against Saquon and the Giants, but I still don't think he's better than Saquon. We just put the poll up recently, best running back in the NFC East, and mostly everybody said Saquon, including the Eagles fans. So I know my homie is just a little delirious, but that's what he does. But keep it a Cino. What's your thoughts on it? After 14 weeks, we getting closer to the end of the season. My MVP list has changed. I done had Mahomes at the top of the list. I done had Jalen Hurts at the top of the list. Jalen Hurts, last week he was back at the top of the list. Top 3 MVP finalists after 14 weeks. Keep it a Cino. Who you got? Me, I got Josh Allen at 3. Sneaky number 2 that you need to watch out for. I told you on the Week 13 recap. This is the AFC team to watch. Joe Burrow is number 2 on my MVP voting. He's won games this year without Jamar Chase. He's won games without T. Higgins. He's won games without T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. He's won games without Joe Mixon. That boy is getting busy and is under the radar. No one is talking about it because he started off horrible. But y'all need to watch out for Cincy. Joe Burrow's number 2 on my MVP list right now. And number 1 is still Jalen Hurts. Shout out Jalen Hurts. That's my number 1. But keep it a Cino, people. Top 3 MVP list. Who you got on your list? Keep it a Cino, let me know. Monday Night Football, we got New England at Arizona. Who you taking? I'm going to take Arizona. I seen a stat that was crazy that in 7 games against New England, DeAndre Hopkins has never scored a touchdown. Yikes. One thing about Bill Belichick is he's going to come with a defensive scheme to take your main player out. But I just feel as though I'm going to go Bill. I'm going to go Bill Belichick in New England. I don't know why, but I'm going to go Bill. But I think DeAndre Hopkins will have a good game. Even though New England is hurt, I'm like over Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Keep it a Cino, Monday Night Football. Who do you have? Before I get out of here, I just want to shout out everybody that's been dropping comments, that's been viewing, hitting the like button. We definitely appreciate everybody. If this your first time tuning in, please make sure you hit the sub button. Everybody that's tuned in, hit the like button. Make sure you hit the bell so you can get notified. As always, I am your boy Brown. And no Ramley talk this week because, Baker Mayfield and won on Thursday Night Football. Shout out to the Rams. No, I'm not convinced on Baker Mayfield, but what I will say is we make guys look better than what they are in LA. We've done it with Odell. We've done it with, what's the Joker name that came over from Green Bay? Clay Matthews. We've done it with Von Miller. Everybody that comes over there looks better than they are. So shout out to Baker Mayfield, but nah, I'm not on the wave. We can do some things. But that's just my thoughts. Again, I'm your boy Brown. Please tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Tell everybody, keep the C note. I holla at y'all.
Shit. This is what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da. Let me tell you what I'm feeling like. Da, 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 da.